This is Stephen Reed from the University of Southern California. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to assign unit names to network diagrams in a Libre project. Sometimes when you're doing a project, for example in a simple classification program such as the one I've got showing here, you may want to be able to know what a node corresponds to, what the meaningful name of a node is. So for example, in this project here, I'm teaching the network a simple classification task where it basically takes a set of features, and from those features it learns to classify a particular object as a dog, a cat, a fish, a dolphin, or a bird. Now, if you don't put names on the units, what will happen is you're trying to figure out if your network is actually learning properly, and you have to remember which node corresponds to which concept, or which node corresponds to which animal. If you put unit names in, then you'll be able to actually look at this fairly easily. Now the way you do unit names or assign unit names to a network in Emergent is the following. What you do is you go over to this left window here that shows all the pieces of your network. You go under Network, and then you go under Layers, and in this particular case we're going to start with Species and assign names. And what we're going to do is we're going to first right-click or control-click on the species label and go down in this menu to State, and you'll see it says Set Unit Names. You click Set Unit Names, you'll hit the dialog, this checkbox, Force Unit Names, and then say OK. Now once you've done that, you'll notice under Species you have this thing that says Unit Names. You click on that and you actually get a matrix, and you can now put names in here. You can put text in here. So for example, in this diagram you have dog, cat, fish, dolphin, and bird. Okay, now you'll notice it actually hasn't displayed on the network. In order to do that, you've got to do two things. First, you've got to go back up here to Network and go down to this button and say Build. And it will build your network. And then the other thing is you have to go to this control panel here for Network, and you look in the top line here, and it says, where it says Unit Text, and it currently says None, you basically would select Names. Now once you do that, you'll now see that you have dog, cat, fish, dolphin, and bird above the corresponding nodes. So now when you teach this network to do classification, you'll know whether, if you intend dog to come on, you can just look at the names and see whether in fact the intended node is being active. Now you may think that the text is a little small, and one of the things you can do is go up here, and in the second line you'll have various things, but over here the thing that's important is it says font size. And what you can do is increase the font size, say 0.03, and now the font gets considerably bigger. Okay, if you want to make it even bigger, you can go 0.04 and hit Apply, and again. So you may decide that's a little big, so let's make it 0.03, and now we have that. Another thing you might want to do is you can then control the size of the display layer, and you might want to make the layer a little bit wider. So now you click on the layer, you get the control panel for the layer, and you change display scale, and for instance change it to 2, which is twice the normal size, and then what it does is it makes the layer a lot bigger, and it's actually much easier to see dog, cat, fish, dolphin, and bird. Now you might also want to have names on the input layers are on the feature layer. And what you do with that is, again, you go over to your left menu, you click on Features, you do right click or shift click, you then go down and select State. So this is not behaving itself. You go down, so Features, let's see again. There we go. And again, we go Set Unit Names, Force Unit Names, hit OK. And now what we'll do is we'll go and we click on Unit Names, and again you see this matrix. And now we can add the features that are in our project. So in this particular case, they happen to be fur, feather, scales, skin, barks, purrs, sings, swims, walks, flies, lays eggs, live birth, we'll make it a little bit shorter, and let's see, live birth, and then chases mice. Okay, so again, you added those in, but they don't appear, and what you do is you have to go build. Okay, it builds it, and then you'll notice that the names show up. Now, in this particular case, the nodes are fairly close together and the labels are too long, so it might be a little hard to see. One thing you can do, again, as I said, you can sort of click on this layer, and once you've got the layer, you go to the display on here, display scale, where currently it says 1. Let's change it to 2, and what will happen, you hit apply. This makes the layer much bigger. Now you can actually see the names on the features, and they basically aren't overlapping with one another. So anyway, this is how you would do unit names in Emergent.